Hi, I'm Tony Castelli, a Cincinnati personal injury trial attorney. My message today is what happens in a doctor's deposition, and specifically the defense medical deposition. When you're in a personal injury case, the defense has the opportunity to pick their own doctor, to examine you, and to tell what, if any, injuries that you had in the automobile accident. Then what happens is, instead of the doctor coming into court live, they put them on videotape, and I, as your attorney, get a chance to cross-examine them. And one of the ways that we can cross-examine them is called the learned treatise. If they agree with a book as being reliable, I can ask them questions about that book. And I'm going to read you, and I hope this doesn't bore you, an excerpt of a defense doctor who I cross-examined. The issue was the lady had an injury that you really couldn't see, one we call soft tissue. There was also a question whether it was arthritis that had been there and something that was caused by the accident. And the final thing was, this attorney kept asking her, well, what was your pain, an 8, 10? And if she said it was an 8, then he would argue that the medical record showed she wasn't that severe. So one of the points that we wanted to make was doctors can't always tell how much pain you're in. And what happened in this case is that since we take these depositions before trial, the attorney knows what's coming up. I was even able to ask a jury if they agreed with this statement on what they felt in my voir dire. And it became a nice focus. This defense attorney actually fought with a juror, and she said to him, "Sir, can you tell if I'm in pain right now?" So here's the excerpt that led up to that whole exchange. Doctor, I noted in your report that you said your report was in accordance with the AMA Guidelines 5th edition. Answer, that's correct. Well, doctor, I have the 5th edition here, and I'm going to ask you if you agree with a statement made at page 566. Doctor, have you turned to page 566? Yes, I have. Well, let me read it to you. And so the statement that I read to him was, pain is subjective. Its presence cannot be readily validated or objectively measured. Physicians are confronted with ambiguity as they attempt to assess the severity and significance of chronic pain in their patients. In large part, this stems from the fundamental divide between a person who suffers from pain and an observer who attempts to understand that suffering. Observers tend to view complaints with suspicion and disbelief, akin to the complaints of disease, fatigue, and malaise. As Scary remarked, to have great pain is to have certainty. To hear that another has pain is to have doubt. Do you agree with that, doctor? His answer was, well, I don't know who Scary is, so you can tell me who that is, not someone I'm familiar with, and I'll go look at the footnote and see if wait a minute, we might have it here, okay, it came from this footnote. So, doctor, do you agree with the statement or not? The attorney objects. The doctor says, I don't know who Scary is. I don't know the book. I'm not sure he's even credentialed as a scientist. Well, doctor, it's in the AMA guidelines that you rely upon, so that's why I'm asking you. Answer, it's called the Body in Pain. I don't know anything about it. Okay. So I think the answer to that's no. If you ask me, it's not impressive. And so I say, you disagree with the whole statement that I read to you? Well, I don't know who Mr. Scary is. Well, Mr. Scary only stated to have great pain is to have certainty. To hear that another person has pain is to have doubt. That's what he noted. The notation that Scary quoted is just that. I'm not sure what that means, the doctor says. Okay, and the part above that I read, did you agree with that part? No, I don't believe that's true at all. So what he said was, I can tell if you're in pain or not. And the bottom line was, he said that my client didn't have a problem, or if she did, it was from her arthritis. The jury didn't believe this doctor, and I don't know for sure if this little statement helped or not, but I'm sure it didn't hurt. Thanks a lot for listening today. That's some of the fun we can have at trial if we prepare hard. Thank you.